Hi, I'm Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to share with you some of my cross-stitching completed items that I have, some of my whips, my Stitch Mania, or what I consider my Stitch Manias. I started 5 new projects, and also a few things that I've picked up for the last couple months. And these are fully finished items. They are already in frames. And I'll start off with one that I have been working on for a while. And this one is a Bucilla kit that I had picked up at Walmart's, and it's Love You Always. And it's got the 2 bluebirds, and it says, love you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will. And here's a picture of it when I showed it to you the last time. And here's my finished item. It's in a frame. This is one that I'm making for my husband, and because of the glare, you really can't read the words, but the words are down there. You can see them. And the 2 birds are done, all the background. And if you've noticed in the picture, it has like a little border going around the edging. And I didn't put it because the frame that I wanted to put it in, it would be all behind here anyway. So I wasn't wasting my time stitching that and it not show up. But this is an item that I made for my husband, and he's waiting to have it to put on the wall with another cross-stitch picture that I did for our anniversary. And the next item that I have is one of my Stitch Mania items, and it was the very first one. What I did for Stitch Mania, the first Sunday of each week for the month of May, I started a new item, and I picked small items so I can have some finishes, because the majority of my items that I'm working on, my projects, are all large, so they've been taking time to do them. And I wanted some gratification having a finished item. So this is the first one I did. I had showed you this, that I had picked this up. It's the Dimensions kit that I had picked up at Joann's. And it says, this one says, I cross stitch so that I don't kill people. And it's one of the Say It's, and it was a kit. And I didn't want to do the I cross stitch so I don't kill people, because I do all sorts of crafts. So I changed mine around, and I put mine as I do crafts so I don't kill people. So most of the letters were there. I think I just had to figure out how to do an A. I think it came out okay. And mine say I do crafts so I don't kill people. And that's going here in my craft room. My craft room is green and pink. So I, instead of doing the letterings as they showed it was in black, I just picked out a green, and it has the pink border with the hearts, and then I put it in a green frame. So that's going to go on the wall here in my craft room. And since I'm already showing you my Stitch Mania, I might as well show you the rest. The next item that was week 1. In week 2, or the second Sunday, because there was 5 Sundays in the month of May. And the next one I picked up was this little one that my husband picked out that he liked, and it says, I'll love you forever. And I work on this. What I did with these, I worked on them a half an hour every night for 7 days, from Sunday to Saturday. And then Sunday, I started my new one. And so now I was able, once my weeks were done, I was able to go back and pick up. And so I picked this one up now. And I'm almost all the way done. All I have to do is backstitch him, and there's a heart that hangs off of here, and this one's all done. And in the pattern, it shows another little branch. I don't like that branch because I don't, it just seems like the trees, they have the trees branches growing like this instead of them, you know, a tree sticks out at different angles. So I'm not putting that little branch on, but I am going to put the little heart hanging off of that one. So this will be done, and I'm going to do this one because I haven't done it before in a, I'm going to do this one in a cube so he can sit it on his desk. So this one will be done. I have tomorrow to do this one. I know I can get the back stitching done and that little heart done tomorrow. And then the next time I show this to you, it'll be a fully finished item because I'm going to do this one in the cube. So that was week 2. And for week 3, I picked up the Prairie Schooler. This is book number 113, and I'm doing the X is for cross stitching. That's one down there, and I'm doing this one as a little different because like the frames that I showed you, these ones, I have 2 pink ones that are going to go on each side of this one. This one will be in the middle. And so I'm trying to do it in sort of a square. And so what I did was, I cut the, I left off the X's for cross stitching little section down here. And for that week, this is what I have done so far. I have her little table and a vase, her cross stitching that she's working on, her arm, and then this is her dress coming in. And this is done on 28 count even weave. And this is the first time I've ever worked on even weave. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I really do. I like even weave. It's not bad. I'm new at it, so I can't like jump very far over, do the counting because I'm afraid I'm going to miscount. So that's what I'm doing for that one. And then on week 4, I picked out the S's for sewing in the same Prairie Schooler, and this is book number 112. And I just had a long piece that I had cut off, and I just did one on each end. And this is the S is for sewing, and just like the other one, I'm not going to have the bottom, so it'll be, I think I counted it, and it'll be 6 lines longer than it is wide, so it won't be a complete square, but it'll be close. And I have the sewing machine coming into it. I have her in her dress and her apron and the top of the sewing machine. And, you know, they have an old, I think it's called a Trindle sewing machine that you work by foot. And that's what I got done that week. So that was week 3 and 4. And for the last week, I can't show you a picture of it. It's from the Cross Stitcher. And it's Emma Congdon design. Congdon. I don't know what year. I'm just going to kind of get it. It's a coaster. But I'm making it into, I'm going to do this one into a cube too. And this one is going to be mine. And it says made to measure, and it's a yardstick or a ruler or tape measure going all the way down. So far I got in the a little design and then the 2 measure, and then I got the bottom done and back stitched almost all the way. And this side over here, I have it done. I just have to back stitch. It's going to be a little, just a small little cube one. And this is on just some scrap 14 count Aida that I had. And I'm just using some, the regular DMC floss. And that's what I got done with that week. And those were my 5 Stitch Mania items. I said I wanted to start 5, and at first I had did the 4, and I already had 4 projects going, or 5 projects already going. And so that was really a lot for me, because I'm used to just doing one project, finishing it, and then doing the other project. But when I started picking up cross stitching again, I wanted to do stuff for people. All the ones I did before was like for the house or for Christmas or something. But these are gifts for people, and I want them done, around about the same time. I don't want to take a year to give one person, another year to give another person. So that's my week 5. My next item that I have in my rotation is my April Blue Diamond, my Mirabilia. It's a Nora Corbett design. And here's where I was before. And here's where I am now. You can see I have almost all of her wings are done. Her hair is all of this is done. Her hair is done. Her face is done. All of her skin tone is done. And I did change up the skin tone to make her a darker skin tone. And her whatever this is that she's holding, like a ribbon, is done. And then I have her dress done down to there and a little bit more starting over here. So that's how much I have of her done so far. I'm not putting any of the beads in. If you can see, like, her hair is all the white. Those are where beads go. And in her hands, like this hand, there's no more for me to do over here, because it's her wand that she's holding is all beaded. And I'm using Q-snaps, and I don't want to do the beading until the end, so that they won't get under the Q-snaps and get crushed. I have the beads. I just haven't done them. But that's what I have so far on her. And my next item I have is my picture to pattern of the nativity that I'm working on. And here's a picture of where I was before. And here's where I am now. I have this side is all completed, which I started from the top left. So, but that wasn't page number 1. It was page number 7, 8, and then there's a small strip for 9. And then this is number 4 is almost all the way done. And what I did was this past week, I just went in and I'm trying to fill in all of those extra, the one spots here and there to get her all filled in. So her face is all in. I'm starting to get her arm in. Her robe is done. I got his face almost all done. I think there's like 2 spots here or something to finish up his face. Her face is all in. And the background and the manger set is in so far. And I have just a little ways to come over here. This area right here is the rest of page number 4. And then part of him is page number 5. So page number 5 has already started. But that's what I have so far. I really love how it's coming out. I just like seeing the faces pop out. You know, first you're working on them as just a blob, and then you do it and you're still working up close and you can't see it. But then if you just sit back, when I sit back in the chair and I'm like, wow, there's the face. And I'm just like, look at the eye, look at the nose. So I'm really enjoying working on this. This is my weekend project. I only work on this on Saturday and Sundays. And lately, some of the Saturday and Sundays have been kind of hectic, so I hadn't worked on it in like 2 weeks. I just picked it up last week and worked on it. I think it was just a little bit on Sunday. So it should be calming down a little bit. So I can't wait to get back to a more steadier rotation for this one because I just love how it's coming out. The next item I have in my rotation is a, let's see. This is another Old Dimensions kit that I have, and it's a gold collection, and it's called the Magnificent Wizard. And here's a picture of it. And here's a picture of where I was before. And here's where I am now. Yeah, it's all in. I have what I've been working on here late for this past rotation is getting the wizard in, and he's almost completely done. His robe is all in. I have a lot of the castle coming in. The castle is showing behind him, and his robe is almost all done. His hand is done. His other hand, the stick is in, and all the way down to holding the lantern is done. And a little bit more over here I got to working on. But this is what I have done so far. I hope it's in focus. So my son is just loving it. I got part of the dragon's wing and I need a little bit more. When I work on this again, and the next time I pick it up, I'm going to go up this way, because a lot of these are half stitches going up here, doing the clouds and doing the castle in the background. And then I already have this much of his wing is in. So I'll just finish up his wing that goes around here. And then the rest of this is castle. And then after I'm done with that castle and the clouds are the half stitches. So they shouldn't take me that long. Well, it'll take me long because it's still changing colors. But for the solid ones, then I'll have the wizard. His feet is right here. I'm already starting to put some of the colors in. He's standing on some rocks, and the dragon over here, his feet are already coming in too. He's standing on a big rock. So it's really coming out nice. And this was an older kit that I had found when I was getting started back into cross stitching again, and it was when I hadn't just put up in the attic. And so I'm finding that the thread kind of tangles and stuff. So I am using the Thread Magic and Thread Heaven on this one. And one of my needle minders that I made is the, I don't know if I showed you this. It looks like a book, and it just reminded me like it should be an old book. And what I did was, it was a charm, a locket that I had picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I just grinded the locket part off, put my magnet on the back, and then I just put some of the Thread Heaven. I just pulled out a gloop and put it in there. And so this sits on the picture when I'm doing this, so I can just run the stuff through there. And it makes it a lot easier. I'm not getting as many tangles and knots when I do that. Oh, and his needle minder that I made is a dragon. And my last whip that I have is, let's see who this is by. Janlin kit. It wasn't a kit. It was a Janlin, just the Janlin pattern. And this is called Northern Lights. It's the wolves with a big wolf making the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights. And the two wolves are sitting on a cliff. And what I have done so far in this one is I'm nearly done. I have all of this area over here with the Northern Lights and everything is done. I have a little bit more of the Northern Lights to bring down on this side. And I have the two wolves are done over here. The cliff is almost all the way done. I have a little bit more over here that I have to work on. And then it comes out just a little bit more over on this side. And then the Northern Lights comes down a little bit further. And this one will be done. So I'm hoping to see this one done. I figure I may have like 2 more rotations of this one. And I'll have this one done. So I'm loving this. This is coming out really nice. And those were all of my finished items and my works in progress. And my 5 items that I started and 1 finished for Stitch Mania. The next thing I have is just a few things that I've picked up over the last couple months. And when Heaven and Earth was having a sale, I went in and I bought this pattern, and it's called the Sampler Letter Entire Series. And I bought this whole thing because this was in my wish list, but just for the one. But they had the whole series. I wanted it for the letter D. I'm going to make this for my son. It is a dragon with the letter D, and his name starts with a D, and he's the one that collects all the dragons and wizards. So that I ordered that, and I just downloaded. I have it saved, and then I just downloaded the one that I'm going to be working on, which is the letter D. I don't even know if I'm going to use the rest of the letters. Not for sure, but that's what I have. And when I finish his dragon, I'm going to take and do this one because it's a smaller one, so that I can take a break. I'll do large items and then big items, large items and big items. My next thing I have, I don't know if you saw, I have all my items. These I picked up from the Dollar Tree. These I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And every time I go, first I bought like 6, I think. And so every time I go, I try to pick up 2 if the Dollar Tree I'm at has them. Ours usually does. And I'm near 1, 2, 3, like 4 Dollar Trees are near me between living and on my way to and from work. And they're a nice zippered plastic bag. They're not the strongest, but they're working out really good. And like I'm getting ready to kit up this project. When I have a project kitted up, I put them in these. So I'm getting ready to kit this one up. I have I'm getting the fabric out and picking out the floss, and I just stick it in here. And the ones that I'm working on also have a folder that I can keep the fabric in. The floss does not go in these for the bigger items because my flosses are in the smaller floss boxes. Or like my nativity is in a big floss box because it's so much of it. And then I have the other ones in the smaller floss boxes. And my Stitch Mania items were in these bags too. And I do have the floss in the bags with them. So I have, because, you know, they're smaller, so I can have the floss. I have a copy of the pattern in there, and then I put the fabric in there. And this is just how I stored them, like that. Oh, don't want you to see the pattern. Just like that in there. And I had one for, well, this one was the 2 in here. And then, like, I had this one for the made to measure one. This one is for my owl one. I just had a cord in there because I was taking this somewhere with me, and I have the cord for my my tablet, so that I can recharge it and have my glasses. And I have the floss and extra needles and everything are in these bags. So that's the way I was storing my Stitch Mania stuff also. Like, here's one. This is the this was the birds was in this one. So I can take this one out now and use this bag for something else. But every time I go, I just pick up a couple of these bags. And I just went today, so I picked up 2 more. And I went to our Goodwill, and I found this in the package it was in. It was all in the package, but the package was so yucky. I just took it out of the package, and it was for $2. And it was a complete kit by Dimensions, and it's called the Woodland Babies. And it has the floss and the Aida in there. And I don't think I'm gonna put it on the Aida that's in there, because I think it's that's 18 count, so it's not bad. So I just picked that one up. It was $2. And they also had some 22 count blue, light blue heart anger. And it is 15 by 18, and it was just $1.99. And it's by Zweigert Bucella. So I picked that up. And a lot of this is my husband gave me money to buy me whatever I wanted for Mother's Day. And so every time I see these when I'm in Hobby Lobby, I pick these up on clearance, the replacement clamps. And they also had this on clearance, and it's by Artsy. And you cross-stitch his little bib. And me and my husband have a running joke about giraffes from a long time ago when we went to the zoo. So I'm going to make that for him. And then I picked up 2 kits. I picked up the footprints. I picked this one up at Walmart's, I think it was. And I have been wanting to do this one. And it does have, it's the complete kit by Bucella. And it's done on 28 count even weave. And it has the thread and everything in there. So, and the last one I bought is the Dream Dancer 14 count. It's on 14 count Aida. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on that. Because it's really big. It's 14 by 18. And if I move it down to maybe like an 18 count Aida, which I think that's what I'm going to do to shrink it in size, because I have my Native American stuff is in the in my upstairs bathroom, and I have one wall left. I could put the big one in that space, but I may shrink it down a little bit. And this one is a Joan Elliott design, and it's by Design Works. And it's the whole kit, you know, with the beads and the beading needles and everything inside. So that's one that I'm going to be working on. Not anytime soon. And also one thing that I picked up with some of the stuff my husband got me is one of these, and you're supposed to put it like to hold your tablet, and it hooks onto your headrest so that the kids in the back seat can watch it. But I took it off and turned my stitches around, and I put it on my stand to hold my tablet. I had showed you my tablet he had got me for my birthday, and it expands out and it holds my tablet right there, right up on, you know, on top where I can have my things up on top and I can stitch on the bottom. And it holds it really good, and my tablet is up there really good. And so I picked up one of those. And that's what I have on my stitching stand. And my youngest son got me like some my youngest son picked me up some stuff for my knitting and stuff for Mother's Day. And they both picked up stuff for my knitting for my birthday. And then my oldest son picked up, I had wanted this stand, and he got me this for Mother's Day, the little petite, what is it called? The item is by Kay's Creation, and it is the La Petite lap frame and universal clamp. And because when I'm working, I found out when I'm working on those little items, I don't like them on that, you know, my big stand. It just seems like it's just too much with these little items on, you know, the little 6x6 or whatever, it's 8x8 or whatever clamp. And so he picked this up for me. It was on my wish list. And I love it. And then I love it because it folds up. It folds up really nice. And I just stick it down in my bag when I'm going somewhere where I know we're going to be sitting for a while. And to have my little cross stitching. And I even took my my angel one day, and I just put it in a smaller. I put it in a smaller Q-snap just to work on it while we were, and stuffed it all in with the grime guard, and I was able to stitch on that. Just, you know, you would have to move it around a lot of areas. And the way it's made, you're supposed to stitch with it like this, with these up on top. I don't like that. When I'm stitching right there near the thing, my hand is right there on these the clamps. So what you do is, what I did was, I flipped it around. So now my hand is on the flat part when I'm stitching right there near the edge. And what I also figured out is when I have a grime guard on this, I take the grime guard off and put it around here, and it'll hold it in there better. And I forgot whose video I was watching that they showed that they had this, and she didn't know what this screw was for. She thought it was to, I don't know. And so she said she didn't get any instructions when she got hers. Well, it doesn't say it in the instructions anyway. So all I did was figured it out is when you're working with the Q-snap, you need to keep that back area And I think this will work on anything that has these. If they have an extra screw, or just put in an extra screw that you can screw down so that when you're tightening it up, that back area does not shrink, that, you know, stay wide, and then the front gets down and the thing keeps popping out. When you have this so that it can only go down so far, which I keep it at the slightly smaller than the size of the Q-snap, then when you tighten down the front, all it does is it gives it a good grab, and your Q-snap doesn't move. But I found that if you do have the grime guard in there, then it'll shift a little bit. If you have the grime guard on the outside, it works perfect. And this is my little baby that I carry everywhere with me now. When I want to do, I take my cross stitches on a small frame, and it is adjustable that you can move it up from here and there. And something else I did, when I flipped it over, it ended up with a little dent where it has that screw in there that you screw this down onto to keep it secure. This extra little screw for the back for your Q-snaps. I had a little magnet, and I stuck a magnet down in there. I didn't even have to glue it because the magnet adhered to the screw, and it was one of these earth magnets that now my scissors has a built-in needle minder, and my scissors go nowhere. So I just keep my scissors on there. Even when it's packed in my bag, my scissors are right there in this. So this was a lovely find. And I have what I do is I have this. I have my tablet, which has all my patterns on it. And then I have my little hammerhead light that my son got me. My other son got me for my, he got for my birthday. And it clamps on to the top of this perfectly. Let me show you. When I'm out somewhere else and I'm cross stitching on this, I have a small 7-inch tablet, which I have my program on that has all my patterns. So I use that one when I'm out. And I have my little stand. It's hooked. I have it flipped backwards. And I have my light that I hook up here, just like that, to put over my projects. And this is rechargeable, and it has a power cord. So I always plug this up at night, so when I take it with me, I don't have to worry about taking my cord with me. Unless I'm going to be a long time, then I'll just take my cord and I can plug it in. But I haven't had this run out yet. It has a long life. So that's what I do. And this is how I cross stitch on the go. I have my small frame. I have my hammerhead light. And my scissors are right there. And I mean, they stick. They don't go anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And then I have my light. And I have my pattern on my little 7-inch tablet when I'm on the go. And that was it that I had for the last 2 months. Sorry I missed a month. As usual with everybody else, life gets in the way sometimes. Never stop stitching. Slowed down a little bit on certain things. But everything is going fine. And I hope to have another video for you at the beginning of next month. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye.